What's going on, bottom line viewers? It's Mitch here, joined by Dilly Vanilli. We are here to discuss WWE Raw for March the 20th, 2017. We're going to give you our reactions, basically, our thoughts on the entire show. If you are new, check out the rest of our channel. We do a lot of wrestling content just like this. If you're a guy that loves live reviews, live recaps, you'll love this channel. We definitely do a ton of them. And if you are a subscriber and if you're a regular chatter in the chat, make sure that you let us know what you think about the show. I see Jared is here. I see AV Gaming is here. What's up, guys? What's going on? Sorry, we started this stream a little bit late. We were trying to work out a couple things with Kev to see if he was going to be on the show. Also, trying to work out a couple other things on my end. So apologize for that. But we are here, and we're here to review the show. So let's get into it, Dylan. Dylan, what's your initial thoughts on this show? Just from an entertainment standpoint, just looking at this show as a whole, what, like, the first thing that enters your mind, what is one word or two words to describe the show?
2 words to describe the show. No opinion. How is it that a show can give me absolutely no opinion on it? I'm dumbfounded at that. This show, as always, continues to bore me on many levels, and it's 3 hours I'll never get back. Some segments were entertaining, Chris Jericho, the GOAT, and a couple of other segments I enjoyed throughout the show with Rollins and Triple H. But for the majority of the show, of course, it has to be 1 hour at most of entertainment, and the other 2 hours to 2.5 hours are complete nothing. They're just there. They're just there to fill time. It's such a waste of time and effort, and we're going to get into it of how some of them I just didn't care, and some I found quite stupid, and how I also still didn't care in those stupid segments. So I don't even know.
Like, I feel like sometimes when I watch Raw, I feel like literally if I was one of the writers on the show, it would take me about 2 minutes to write a segment on the show. We're going to get into this on the last match. We're going to get into it. And I really feel like it took them 5 seconds to decide that.
Oh, it had to be.
Holy crap, can you be more unoriginal? We're going to get into that, guys. And we're also going to get into a rant from myself about how wrestlers do no longer look like wrestlers. We're going to get into that.
Can't wait.
Let us know what you thought of the show. I know that Arian thought it was shit. So we're going to get into it. Okay, let's start off with the Mick Foley promo. This was something I was actually looking forward to on the show because, Mick Foley, last week they had the whole crazy thing with Triple H. Triple H freaking cut the promo of his life on him last week. It was great all around. They had the Seth Rollins thing. I was really intrigued to see what was going to happen with the GM Mick Foley this week, to see if he was going to resign, to see if he was going to be fired, to see what was going to happen. So Mick Foley comes out and he starts reading this letter. He reads an apology about how he's sorry about what he said to Stephanie and, what he said to Triple H and how he attacked Triple H and all that stuff. He's reading off these index cards like he's Cass looking at the teleprompter screen while he's saying his lines. He's just reading these notes. And then he just tears them up and he's like, you expect me to read these index cards? I could do this in my sleep. I'm Mick freaking Foley. I love that line. I started laughing. I was like, yeah, hell yeah, you're Mick freaking Foley. So Foley, he just cuts a great promo. He gets really angry all of a sudden, flips a switch on Stephanie and just goes off about Triple H and Stephanie on how he's not going to do this bull crap. So Stephanie then comes out and, she kind of has that swag about her where she's like, yeah, I'm just going to come out and fire your ass. So she gets in the ring and she says that, Mick Foley is always about what the fans think. Mick Foley always wants to be liked. That's why his ear is like that, and that's why he has that limp and stuff, which Triple H will also say later on. and that Stephanie has always, or Mick Foley has always created problems for himself because he hasn't followed the authority. He's followed the fans. And then the Foley chants start going around in the arena, and then she says that Mick Foley, I've got 2 words for you. You're fired. I like how the crowd still remembered that the 2 words are "suck it," because I'm not sure if any of those fans still watch. I was just wondering,
Oh, Brooklyn crowd tonight was fucking terrible. We'll get into them later on, but fuck, I hated it.
CM Punk. CM Punk.
Oh, it was
CM Punk.
Was it in this segment? No, it was in the Triple H segment.
No, there was CM Punk chants. I have it right here.
Was it
later on because, the taxi driver comes out and he says that somebody forgot to pay him because he actually drove Mick Foley to the arena. And Mick Foley, he has dementia, so he forgot to pay Sami Zayn.
Oh, fair.
So he came out and he was like, Stephanie, can you pay me? Your employee didn't pay me. I'm still waiting for my money.
This is a better story than I came up with.
Yeah. But what actually happened was the taxi driver Sami Zayn came out. And then as soon as he comes out, literally 2 seconds into his entrance, my mom is sitting beside me and my mom says, "Who is this goof?" That's not even a lie. I bet that Arian will absolutely love that comment by my mom. Shout out, Mom. But she says about Sami Zayn that he is a goof, which I just think is hilarious. All right. So Sami Zayn then comes out and basically he says to Stephanie, "What you're doing is wrong." Oh, really? No shit. Okay. No one had the guts to stand up to you, but I have the guts to stand up to you. Oh, great. This sounds like a 1977 promo. Holy crap. And then we get the CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk.
Be original, you idiots. Oh my God.
You stupid idiots.
Stupid idiots.
Yes. All right. Continue on.
I hate wrestling fans. Not everybody.
So Sami Zayn basically says that Stephanie is disgracing Foley's legacy, and Zayn takes a jab at Stephanie and, takes a shot at her, basically saying that she's not a good person, pretty much to sum it up. Sami then gets absolutely owned by Stephanie. Stephanie says that Sami is not on her level, which is absolutely true, and that somebody should come out to speak, that is actually on her level. Sami Zayn shouldn't be allowed to speak fully because he's not on her level. And then a little bit of me, I tweeted this out, a little bit of me wanted to see The Rock come out, The Rock and Sock, to start to, come out because he is on Stephanie's level. He's above that, so it would have been kind of funny. But Sami Zayn, anyways, is about to get killed by Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe comes out. He looks pissed off, and it just looks like he's going to beat the crap out of Zayn. But Stephanie, what do you know, Dylan? What does she do?
Again, just, we got to set up a match here. Samoa Joe, Sami Zayn.
No, but why do we always have to create the match right now? Why do we have to do that?
I hate that.
You know what I did like about it, though, this time? At least they had the spot where Sami Zayn hit Samoa Joe before the match started, and then they went into commercial. It wasn't just okay, let's have the match now, and then, the match starts, or they go to commercial right away. At least Sami Zayn hit a move, and then they went into commercial. At least they had a little bit of something. But what I prefer, and I always say this, and I think Dylan does as well, is, okay, we have this big thing at the beginning of the show building up 2 wrestlers here, Joe, Zayn. You also have the Foley story in there. Why don't we say, okay, Sami Zayn, Samoa Joe, that's going to happen later in the night. I know they're not the main, they're not the main stars of the show, but maybe people were intrigued with what Sami Zayn had to say, God forbid. Or, Samoa Joe's sick entrance. Maybe they were interested in that. So they want to see that match later in the night. People that have never seen it can tune in later. Or wrestling fans even, maybe they're only tuning in to see what Samoa Joe's going to do tonight. So then all they have to do is tune in for 15 minutes and then tune out.
Hey, Mitch, these people are impatient as fuck. They can't even let 2 hours go by without having a match, man. Match. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Bro.
And then somebody try to tell me on fucking What Culture that, God damn it, this WrestleMania is not for hardcore fans. God, these.
You know what I want to respond to that? Okay. Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles makes no freaking sense, bro. Okay, even Mike said to me today, I'd love to see Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles. I'm like, that match makes no sense. Where is the story in Shinsuke Nakamura? And plus, why do people keep putting down Shane McMahon's wrestling? Oh, he only wrestled one match in 10 years. What was the best match on the freaking show, bro? Come on, man.
Shane McMahon. Look at that story with Shane and AJ. It's one of the best right now, okay? God damn it. Like, Shinsuke Nakamura could be good. There's no story. All right? You know another problem I have, Dylan?
Can anybody else spot this in here? Look at the two wrestlers that came out tonight.
Okay. Sami Zayn and Samoa Joe.
Okay, we have Sami Zayn, we have Samoa Joe. What happened to wrestlers looking like a wrestler? What happened to that?
I will still defend Samoa Joe, but I can't defend him.
When my mom says that Sami Zayn looks like a goof, what do you think a UFC fan thinks of Sami Zayn? Like, seriously, guys, come on, man. Sami Zayn isn't appealing to crap, man. There is a reason why he was Ring of Honor for so long. He's a great indie wrestler. That's what he's for. He's not meant to be a mainstream star because he doesn't attract mainstream audiences. There's a reason why these big TV shows have good-looking people on them. Like, think about it. What's a big mainstream show that doesn't have a good-looking person on it? Or a person that fits the role? Sami Zayn does not fit the body of a wrestler, guys.
That's why Roman Reigns gets pushed. I mean, look at him. He looks great.
He does, man. At least he looks like a wrestler.
You walk down the street, and I'm walking down. I'm not a wrestling fan. And I look at both guys, and I'll be like, hey, Sami Zayn, bro, can you give me a ride to the hotel I got to go over here? And then I see Roman Reigns, and I'm like, bro,
don't hurt me.
Massive.
Don't hurt me.
Yeah, I don't want to be. Don't attack me, man. Like, Sami Zayn is not a wrestler. He's not a wrestler.
But Dylan, I want to hear your thoughts on the Samoa Joe one, because I still feel like Samoa Joe, I think he gets away with it because he has really good face acting. You know, like face acting, like he has very good expressions, and you kind of believe in him because of that. But like if you just look at him, he's like kind of fat. Like he used to not really be like that, kind of. He was more a little bit. I mean, he was always kind of like chubby and stuff in TNA, but he was a little bit more built.
Look at 2019, and you'll never fucking go back to this. He was fat as hell at that point. There's been bigger wrestlers that are, kind of fat. Big Show at one point was quite heavy at size.
Big Show's like 7 feet tall, though.
I knew that was what he's gonna say. It does kind of hurt him that he's not as tall as somebody like Big Show. Mm-hmm. But I think he looks a little more fat. I think he's more like, if you're looking at him in the gym, he's probably going to go ham on that. And, he just maybe...
Yeah, he can probably lift, like, a lot of weight.
But. Yeah, I would say he looks a little fat. But I would also say he doesn't... I would say he would fit the mold of a wrestler compared to a lot of these other guys on the roster. Just put out there.
Yeah, but I would just like to ask the audience, ask the live chatters, what happened to a wrestler looking like a wrestler? Look through like the 80, go through like the 83 to like 2006 WWE roster and tell me one guy that looked like Sami Zayn.
Bro, if anybody comments Chris fucking Benoit, I'm gonna beat your ass. Because even as a guy,
Chris Benoit was freaking jacked.
Jacked in 2004. Oh, when he won the world title, man, that man was solid built. He had the abs. All right, he looked tough.
He looked like Neville, except bigger.
Yeah, I mean, he might not have been able to cut a promo a lot, but he was good in the ring, and he could beat your ass.
And he was way better than Sami Zayn. Don't give me this shit.
Never said he wasn't. Oh God, Chris Benoit versus Sami Zayn would have been the greatest. Oh, shut the fuck up.
So what happens in the Zayn and Joe match, Dylan?
Why do we continuously have the same match on Raw repetitively? Samoa Joe submits Sami Zayn in a 10-minute wrestling match, not a Joe clinic where it should have been Joe going to kill Sami Zayn's ass, and that's it. We had this match at Fastlane. Why do we need to have this match 2 weeks before Raw? Or, WrestleMania. What is Samoa Joe's match at Mania? Nobody knows.
I don't know. Is he... I don't know.
That's so retarded. Like, that's dumb.
Okay, yeah, but I have a question for you, Dylan. If they don't have a match at Mania, why spend time on them?
Exactly. Which is where I was going to give Raw a partial amount of credit for tonight because they cut out all the filler from the last couple of weeks that I've been complaining about. But then you have segments like this where you don't have Joe on the show, and he's been booked as one of the dominant heels of the last 2 months.
But wouldn't you consider this time filler because they're not on the card?
Well, I would totally... No, I'm saying that's what I was going to commend them on. But in certain segments like this, it wastes our time. So Sami Zayn and Joe did something for 20 minutes, if you include the opening promo, that doesn't amount to anything on the big show. Retarded.
Arian said, "Bro, I can't wait for the Charlie Caruso match."
It is good.
Okay, so we got something planned. I think we might need to come out with like a video package to hype that match up.
Oh,
you know, we might have to get something going, have like the epic WWE music in the background, like me slaying Dylan on the mic. We might see if that happens.
Oh, promo battle. You know what I'm saying? I know how to cut a promo, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't seen the WrestleMania 33 announcement video,
yeah, guys, seriously, check out the WrestleMania 33. I know I'm plugging stuff in the middle of the review, but if you want to check out like what we're doing at WrestleMania, and maybe you're at WrestleMania, you can know where we are. You know, so check out the WrestleMania announcement video, which Dylan made. Very good, by the way, Dylan. I was very impressed, and I laughed my ass off. I promise you guys that you would as well. Dylan, if you actually want to post the link of that in the chat, that would be good. All right.
If you want. We'll do.
All right. What's going on, Mr. Me? We're just talking about some Monday Night Raw. Let's check some of these comments real quick as Dylan is doing that. We have a lot of Samoa Joe, you know, looks like, you know, fat and looks like a pug.
Looks like a
Sami Zayn isn't entertaining as a pickle.
Pickles are good. You're giving them disservice, okay?
What else we got? I think he meant in an entertainment factor. They're entertaining.
Okay, I'm not going to say it.
Jared said he loved how Stephanie buried Zayn. Stephanie was good on this show. I'll give her that. I actually, you know what? I want to discuss this about Mick Foley. I've been really interested in Mick Foley since like last week, and now he's fired. You know what I mean, though? Like he got really interesting, and then they fired him.
It's really disappointing because I like Mick Foley. He can cut. He's probably the second best promo cutter on the entire roster, behind second or third. You know, you got Bray Wyatt and you got Triple H, but that's it. Who else can cut a promo like Mick Foley?
Check out Dylan's announcement link right there if you guys want to know what we're doing at WrestleMania. If you're going or if you're not, you can know, you know, what reviews and stuff will be out because Macho Man tells you in that video.
Ooh,
So Samoa Joe does go over in the match against Sami Zayn. We spent way too much time on that, but I just like ranting about Sami Zayn because it's fun. Mick Foley and Sami Zayn are backstage, and this is where I want to get to something as well about Mick Foley. Zayn says that he can't believe that Mick is leaving. You know, he's like hugging him and stuff, and he says that you need to stand up for us. I just didn't like that line at all. I don't know if it was the acting or if it was just like, it didn't make a lot of sense. Like Sami Zayn is basically saying that he needs Mick Foley to be here for him to do anything. Like it didn't make sense. I don't know. And then Zayn says that they say never meet your heroes, but I met mine and I'm glad to have met mine. That was a fine line. It was a nice moment there. Then Sheamus and Cesaro were lined up to thank Mick Foley because they had that whole story. That was good. The cruiserweights, whatever. because nobody cares about them, so whatever. Then we had Bayley thank Mick. That was cool. And then it was funny when they had Triple H say, "Have a nice day," like go up to him and like look like he was going to do something like aggressive. And then Triple H was just like, "Have a nice day." I thought Triple H was, again, great on this show, but started in this segment. Another thing I just want to say about Foley is like, I think that they might go in the direction. I've heard rumors about Angle being the GM, but I think that there's also been rumors of this Triple H stable. What if they brought Mick Foley back after WrestleMania with a Mick Foley stable with all these wrestlers on it? Because this show like built up the fact that Sheamus and Cesaro had to earn their victory. Bayley had to earn her victory. They had a lot of stuff going against the guys of Mick Foley, and Sami Zayn faced Samoa Joe. So maybe they're building towards that. Maybe Stephanie and Triple H are going to continue to bury these Mick Foley guys, and then maybe they'll go towards a stable later on. I think that would be interesting. I'm not putting it, on WWE, and I'm not saying that's going to happen because I don't think it will, because WWE is not very creative. So I'm not going to expect that to happen, but I think that would be interesting. What are your thoughts on that, Dylan?
That sounds really good. They've been pitching this little stable thing for a while. They always have that pay-per-view Survivor Series. Of course, you can make that into some kind of match. If it's, of course, it's long-term, because this company has no idea what long-term long-term ideas are all about. So I don't expect them to, but if they add more people into this Triple H stable, and then they have a couple of people that are solidified in the Mick Foley group, I would enjoy that. Most definitely.
Okay, so we have a Seth Rollins doctor, Kevin Wilk. Not sure if this is a real doctor or an actor, most likely an actor. His name's Kevin Wilk, and he basically talks about how Seth Rollins' recovery is going. He really makes sure to nail it down that Seth Rollins probably won't be able to participate at WrestleMania, that no doctor will, clear him for WrestleMania. It's going to be a miracle, basically, if Seth Rollins is going to come out at WrestleMania. So they're continuing to build up the fact that at WrestleMania, Seth Rollins is going to come out. It's going to be like this crazy thing where he's going to probably accept the match next week, because that's the whole thing. Next week, we'll actually get into that later with Triple H. But Seth Rollins is going to come out probably shockingly somehow, or whatever. I'm not really sure how they're going to do it, but it's just building up the fact that Rollins is injured, and they're building up his character and his toughness, saying that Rollins is a tough guy. He's going to come back in time. He's going to move his schedule up. He's working so hard to get back, and they're hopefully getting him over with that. But it's okay. I like the segment. I like how they introduced the doctor and everything. I like how they're continuing to go with this Seth Rollins injured story, that he re-aggravated his injury. I liked it a little bit. It was a little bit different and a little bit more creative from the stuff that they've been doing. It also added on to the different video packages of him rehabbing and stuff. So I thought it was pretty good. I think the Rollins and Triple H stuff has been handled pretty well. What do you think about that, Dylan?
Yeah, I think these segments are pretty good and pretty well done. And you had a little bit of a different feel with this one with the doctor, and not Triple H or Seth Rollins, which we'll get to one of those guys later tonight. But in this, it just gets you more into the match. This has been one of the more long-term feuds, and they've done pretty well at it. Besides Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho, this has probably been the longest feud that's been built up. So there's some good stuff about it, and I enjoyed the segment. And it's a little bit of a different feel for this segment, instead of a Triple H promo or a Rollins promo, which we'll get one of those later on. So it accomplishes both things.
Yeah, actually, we have a comment about the cruiserweights. Oh, echo.
Why is it always when I'm in this video? I don't
know, man. But we have a comment about the cruiserweights. Julian says that the cruiserweights were probably the best part about tonight.
I mean, there wasn't much to commend on the show.
I'm not sure about that, bro. I think you need to go rewatch it. I don't know if this is sarcasm or not. You're entitled to have your opinion, but I don't think the cruiserweights have ever been a part or the best part of any Raw show. I don't think so. If you could explain why you enjoy the cruiserweights, maybe you can convince me, but we'll see. Bottom line view for tag team champs. Hell yeah, man.
Hey.
Push Dylan, says Arian. There you go.
Hey.
Well, Dylan is in a big main event match for Charlie Caruso. We're going to get into that a little bit later.
Yes,
Charlotte versus Dana Brooke. So honestly, this was so freaking stupid, bro. We have Charlotte and Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke went over harshly last week. Like, it looked like, okay, Dana Brooke with her muscles, she's going to be the next woman on the roster to push into the main event because she just turned on Charlotte. She had this epic turn. She beat Charlotte up. She sent her crying backstage. And this week, they have the match, the payoff. Charlotte versus Dana Brooke, the match of the ages. And what happens? First off, I blank out and I don't watch it. Second, Charlotte wins the match.
Okay.
Dylan, because I blanked out and didn't watch this match because I didn't give a flying fuck, what did you think about the match?
I almost blacked out. The crowd almost blacked out because I heard no reaction. Like, talk about cruiserweight reaction times 2. It was silent. Like, crickets weren't even trying to pay attention to this shit. Dana is not getting over as a face. Even last week I said it. I was not expecting her to get a reaction, and she got an okay reaction last week. So I was like, all right, I'm skeptical, but let's see how it goes. The payoff to this 1 week feud was holy shit and boring. The match was not good. Dana Brooke is incredibly green in the ring. She can't wrestle. So you see her wrestle against Charlotte, who we do not like on the. I mean, there's sometimes we like her and sometimes we don't, but you have to commend her.
I'm in the middle with her. I'm in the middle.
In the middle. Yeah, that's fair enough. She can wrestle in the ring, especially compared to somebody like Dana Brooke. This was a bleh match where Dana Brooke was in control for 98% of it, and Charlotte hit 4 moves to win the match, and it was pointless. And it's even more pointless considering I thought she was supposed to be in this triple threat match for the women's title. And this is going on in between. I don't fucking know.
But Dylan, do you know what confuses me about this?
What's that?
Okay, this is exactly what Arian says. Why don't you have a story about this? Why did we have a match this week? We just started the story last week.
Yeah.
What?
I don't get it either, bro.
Okay, think about this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
How many different things could we have done if we built this story as a side piece, as a side feud? I know that's... Whoa, side feud?
Side feud? Can't even build one feud.
Oh my God, side feud. So we have this side feud, right? Of, you know, we have the Women's Championship feud with Charlotte, Sasha, Bayley, and Nia, which was built nothing tonight. Absolutely nothing tonight. So we have Dana Brooke and Charlotte on the side. What if we could have had, you know, this side feud built up with a promo, with a different segment here and there next week, this week, while we're building up that women's championship match, and we have that question in our mind at WrestleMania. Is Dana Brooke going to come out at WrestleMania and screw Charlotte and have her first pay-per-view, you know, or her second pay-per-view loss, I guess, her first...
well, they fucked up that story part. So.
They fucked that up. But, you know, could Dana cost Charlotte the match at WrestleMania? We could have had that question with the side feud being built up at the same time. But instead, what do? We have this crazy moment last week with Dana Brooke with her muscles go over on Charlotte. And then boom, match, Charlotte, squash, boom, Dana done.
There's like, what, 5 women that appear on the show regularly? What the fuck? Moving on. This was retarded.
Okay. We have Stephanie McMahon and Bayley backstage. Stephanie asks for a hug. Bayley, I don't know why you didn't take a hug. If Stephanie asked me to hug her, I would.
Yo, the acting in this was commendably bad.
Okay, can you give me your reaction to this?
My reaction goes like this. I mean, how is it worse every week? Okay, so Stephanie, Bayley, they see each other. Stephanie, the maniacal bitch that she is, is like, hey, I'm going to mess with her. I want to give her a hug. And Bayley's like, no, I don't want your hug. No. And I'm just like, oh my God. Fucking you could read a script word for word and sound better than Bayley is doing. It's worse than Big Cass. So they continue this promo where it's like, so obviously Stephanie's going to punish Bayley for her actions, for supporting Mick Foley throughout the process. And Bayley, in this entire segment, is just like, you know what, Stephanie? I used to look up to you. And now you're just using people for power. I'm like, it's the same acting every week. Where are the acting coaches? I could act better underwater. It's fucking stupid. I hate these segments constantly.
Okay, so what did we get though, Dylan? You didn't explain the character moment in this.
Oh, we got absolutely
paying attention, and I don't care. I don't blame you for that. I don't blame you if you didn't pay attention. But so what do we get here? So I could have predicted what was going to happen.
Oh, I can tell. Oh, don't you want me to tell you what ended?
What does Bayley say? I used to look up to you, Stephanie. Of course.
I said that part.
Who does Bayley not look up to? Bayley looks up to her dad, Stephanie, Charlotte, Lita, Trish, Mick Foley, Stone Cold, Eddie, Ray, my teacup, my freaking Mike. I don't know what she doesn't look up to.
Mike.
What does she not look up to?
Nothing. She's awful. And
next week she's gonna have an interview with Charlie Caruso and be like, Charlie, I really like the way that you do interviews. I look up to you.
I'm almost guaranteeing that's going in the segment. So we get an announced match, no DQ, Nia Jaxx and Bayley later on. Thank God the segment was over. I'm still acting. You know what? I'm still asking Raw, not just for a refund, but just for this segment. Awful.
Can I also ask you another thing? Why is Bayley standing there? Think about it. Where was she standing? It looked like somewhere like Kane would stand. There was like ladders and chairs behind her and shit. Why is Bayley standing in the middle of backstage area?
It's symbolic, man.
You know what it reminds me? It reminds me of SmackDown Shut Your Mouth. I don't know if you ever played this game. If anyone did, let me know. You walk around like the arena. I used to spend so much time doing this and just talk to people. You're like walking around the arena. That's like, and they're just randomly standing like in the corner by the pop machine. Like you just like walk around and you find different people. If anyone's played this game, let me know. And that's what Bayley was doing.
It's a great fucking game. By the way, I'm just going to take this joke from Julian. Sorry, bro, but I have it here with me. Did she look up to Mitch the Plant? I'm really interested if she looked up to Mitch the Plant.
Mitch the Plant is epic. I don't know who didn't look up to Mitch the Plant. All plants in Mother Nature history looked up to Mitch the Plant. He was the GOAT.
Yeah. It's greatness. I have him, damn it, so I'm looking up to him right now.
Arian says maybe Bayley looked up to Kane.
It's gotta be Kane. Oh god, I can imagine that.
DX Forever 45 says Raw makes dumb booking choices, making Bayley win the title too early, having Charlotte's streak broken before WrestleMania, and now with Dana's breakup. Completely agree. And again, another stupid choice. I'm not sure if that match is up next, but yeah, it's not. It's later on in the night. But we'll talk about the stupid choice that ended up happening with the women's division as well later on. So yeah, we had that absolutely terrible segment with Bayley and Stephanie McMahon.
I'm gonna take Arian. We got the plan of Mitch. Water it up, man. I must do this later.
Okay, so Chris Jericho has the highlight reel. Speaking of him, good segue.
Hey.
So Chris Jericho comes out. He gets some Y2J chants, of course. He says his guest for the highlight reel today is the real Kevin Owens. So he says, Kevin Owens thinks that I need friends. I have friends all around me. Cheer me on, man. So they all cheer him on.
Great face.
And he says that the real Kevin Owens is right here. And he shows a picture of Kevin Owens while he's 16 years old, wearing a Y2J shirt, doing like the pose thing.
Is this the emphasis of nerd? I'm just saying.
Mark. No, but who didn't do that? I used to do that too.
Yeah, 2000, you're acceptable to do that. Don't worry.
Yeah. So and then he like makes fun of his room, like a picture of Jericho and a picture of some hot chick.
A rather chested lady.
Yes, and he says that he's not, or like he's like, I don't know what does he say? He's not as
he's a sexier being or
sexier
something.
beast or something like that.
Yeah.
Jericho's a sexier beast. Yeah, something like that. He calls him a mark, which is totally true. Kevin Owens is a huge mark.
Mark.
All these wrestlers are marks, which is the problem.
Nerds.
Reaches basically, and then he shows some DMs, which I thought was a cool little add to the segment. I really like this. How they kind of
sue him legally if this was out there.
how they kind of brought out some like real life things like the DMs and stuff, how Owens reached out to him. I'm assuming that it's real life. I'm assuming that this happened. And I'm assuming that Owens' favorite wrestler is Chris Jericho. It seemed like it was. He is Canadian, so maybe there is something to that. And so that was good. And then he says, I want to see the real face of Owens at Mania. I want to see this face. And he shows the face of when Jericho comes out and he's like, match. He then goes on to kind of rant about how Owens is not like his friend. Jericho was never Owens' friend. He was actually his hero, his idol. That was really good. And then he goes on and he's like, Jericho, the Ayatollah of rock and rolla, the GOAT. Hey. Y2J at WrestleMania versus Kevin Owens, and he starts building up the match and stuff. And then you see Samoa Joe come out. Owens attacks him from behind. We have that little moment there, and Owens kind of like stands over him and rips up the list of Jericho and makes Jericho extra pissed off. I thought this was a really good segment, probably the best segment of the night, pound for pound, mostly because it was carried by a Jericho promo. I really liked how they brought that real life stuff into it, a little bit of what SmackDown has been doing a little bit more of recently. Yeah, I just think it builds the whole story of best friends, or were they best friends kind of thing. And I like how Kevin Owens didn't speak in this entire thing. He just kind of attacked him. Maybe next week we'll get a little bit more of Kevin Owens and a response from Jericho. But I like this segment, and it was probably the best one of their entire feud so far.
Yeah, I really like Jericho. This is one of the best things I like about a certain wrestler is that they can play heel or face. If you can do both, you're very versatile. That's why I love CM Punk so much. That's why I love Kurt Angle so much. Jericho is really fucking good at both. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but he's really good at being a heel and a face. In this situation, he got screwed over by, his best friend, and now he's going to take revenge. And he's doing the same mannerisms as he was as a heel, but now he's like, cheer me on, man. I'll put you on the list, man. Only stuff that Jericho could put over in 2017, he knows how to put over in both characters. Outstanding. If you don't think he's the top 20 wrestler of all time, we can't be friends. Actually, go ahead and comment below where Jericho ranks all time. I want to hear.
Yeah, actually, my dad was watching this. He was watching much of the show, but he said, "Man, like Chris Jericho is one of the best actors." He's said so that. Good. Yeah.
Congratulations, Mitch's dad. Great.
I actually want to point out something. I know this is kind of like I don't like to do this stuff, and I don't like to, ask for money. But there is actually a new feature in the live chat, and if you guys enjoy these reviews, I just want to stop right here because I remembered it. But there's a new feature in the live chat system that you can guys actually, if you press super chat, you can actually support the channel and donate a couple dollars to the live chat. And, it's a way of supporting the channel and letting us know that you like the content. And also, if you do donate, we'll be sure to read, all your comments and stuff. So, yeah, just throwing it out there. If you guys like what we do here on The Bottom Line View, you like the live shows, it helps us to continue to go and continue to know that you guys like the shows. So just throwing that out there. Super chat at the bottom with the money sign. All right.
I see it.
We
do this for free. So,
we do this for free, but, whatever helps to support the channel so we can keep going, because we've contemplated not doing reviews because this show sucks.
This show is terrible. But this segment was good. I really liked Jericho. Of course, he puts out a bunch of different things you weren't really thinking about. The real Kevin Owens, which is something they promoted last week, and I was intrigued coming into the segment. Congratulations. Easy 3 lines to say, and yet it got me intrigued in the segment more than most of the show. 5 stars. Yep. So you get to see, Jericho or Owens posing with the Y2J shirt. Wish I had that shirt. You had the DMs, which was nice. That was a nice touch. It was impressed by that. And Jericho building up and hyping the match. Paul Heyman does more of a generalistic UFC kind of build for his matches. And with somebody like Jericho, you can appreciate because they put more in the story and you can, get into it with whatever they're bringing up in their feud. So I think Jericho did a really good job with that. And then the end segment with Joe Owens, you can sit here and say, Owens again had to bull rush his way, had to get his friend. But again, they're slimy heels. They're not going to do anything straight up. And just wants to beat the shit out of Jericho. And Owens didn't say a single word, like Mitch said, which I thought was good. I thought that actually helped us helped the segment quite a bit to get Owens at least a little bit of credibility. So I thought it was a really good segment, probably the best of the night.
I have a couple things to add that just kind of popped into my mind, but the first one being that, when you said Heyman and Jericho, you compared 2 guys right there. The thing I like about Jericho more so than a Heyman is, like you said, he can do it in so many different ways, and he's done it with so many different variations of himself. It seems like Heyman kind of has his go-to thing, which is really, really good, but some people are kind of getting bored of it, and some people I don't know, it doesn't. I think that with Jericho, although I wasn't a huge fan of the best friends gimmick with Owens, I think a lot of people enjoyed it. And also, it's just he's done it in so many different ways as both a face and a heel with so many variations of his character that his mic skill is almost, in my opinion, actually better than Heyman's because he's actually been capable of doing so many different ways and so many variations. With Heyman, it's just kind of one style all the time, which is great, don't get me wrong, but I just prefer Jericho's mic style. I don't know how you feel about that, Dylan.
No, I totally agree. We were talking about it a couple weeks ago with when Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar are on the show, how we like the segment, but Paul Heyman's promos are getting a little bit repetitive. So, because we were seeing this shit, early, even when Jake was here, the same segments over and over kind of play out if they keep continuously doing the same stuff. And I don't get me wrong, love Paul Heyman, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And I was going to say one more thing, damn it. Anyways, Kevin joined the chat. He said, I'm just coming in. What did you think of it overall? Honestly, thought overall it wasn't that good. Well, Kevin, we'll give our grades at the end. So if you want to hear more of an in-depth analysis of what we thought of the overall show, we'll talk about that at the very end. But just to give you a synopsis, boring, a little lame. It had some decent parts, and it wasn't the worst show ever, but it was a little boring. It was a little lame. So,
but I also hate shows that give me no opinion.
It was a show like Dylan said at the top of the video. It gave us no opinion right after watching it. It was meh. We don't know how to feel about it.
Those are the worst kind of shows. It's like the Chainsmokers. I don't hate them because they're not bad artists, but they are the most mediocre thing on the planet. So
you're just driving away Chainsmoker fans, bro.
Chainsmokers. Oh, I just promoted them. Shit.
All right. TJ Perkins versus Brian Kendrick. Julian did just say that Chris Jericho is not as good as Bret Hart, which Dylan will rant about. And also that he's not in the top 20. Interesting. And I just want to bring that up because we're talking about cruiserweights. And also he said that cruiserweights were the best thing on the show. Honestly, I have no idea why TJ Perkins and Brian Kendrick happened. This is exactly a channel changer. And as a reviewer of the show, I actually wanted to change the channel. My dad was watching it with me, and I was looking for another thing to watch. I saw OKC Golden State. I checked the score. It was a blowout, so I changed it back. But I would have changed the channel. And if I was going to change the channel as a reviewer and as a person that is actually supposed to watch the match through and through, and I'm changing the channel, what is a casual fan going to do?
They're lucky this shit doesn't happen when fucking Monday Night Football happens. Because if this segment was on Monday Night Football, everybody's moving over to football. So what is this shit? I tweeted this out, and I was like, remember when T.J. Perkins won the Cruiserweight Championship? Or that in the Classic? Yeah.
Who?
Ash Ketchum. That's
okay, Ash Ketchum.
Yeah. He's a
Gotta
great
catch 'em all, Pokemon.
That theme is better than 75% of the show, at least. And you know what?
100%.
100%.
Okay, so the only good thing about this match, short, 1. 2, Brian Kendrick's little promo about lesson number 7, which he had his passport. I thought it was kind of different. Had Tozawa's passport, and that was the reason why he wasn't on the show.
I have no idea how this makes sense, though. If he's in a different country, how the fuck does he have his passport? You can't leave the country without having the passport.
That's a good question.
I thought that as it was happening.
Wait, but unless Brian Kendrick and Tozawa were in another country with them.
Okay. That might make sense.
Yeah, but I just thinking about it. I liked the idea, but now that you actually said that, it made no fucking sense.
And I don't think they actually were thinking that they were both in Japan. So
yeah, if they were, then it would have made sense. But
yeah. But you're not allowed to leave the country without a passport. So
yeah, but again, cruiserweight match, channel changer. Dylan, I want you to address this Bret Hart, Chris Jericho thing. I think they're very close, by the way. I think I actually have Bret Hart like 1 or 2 spots ahead of Chris Jericho, but it's very close. Now I want to hear what Dylan has to say about this.
I have very differing opinions on Bret Hart, as Mitch and most people here that watched our top 100 list have known. I just think Jericho's more out there. Like, I think if you want Bret Hart maybe to put on a better match per se, it's a contest because Jericho knows how to do a different variety of matches. And
I actually think Jericho is a more versatile worker. In his prime, man, he could work every match.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he could work with matches against anybody, tit for tat. Like
style. Like he worked in Canada, America, Japan, Mexico. He knew all the styles, bro.
The man was an EC dub for a while, okay? He knows how to wrestle every style.
There you go.
My thing is that I think he's almost significantly better in every other category that there is.
I think, this is where I have Bret Hart above, and this is really what drives the lists for me, is Bret Hart, more people know who he is. He's kind of...
do you think so?
I think so. Maybe I don't know.
That's a tough question.
I still think Bret Hart. Maybe that's, I don't know, but they're both Canadian. But like Bret Hart in Canada is like a huge, he's like a legend.
That's different. But they're both from Canada. But you would have.
Yeah, I know. But Bret Hart is like the wrestler.
You would have to ask somebody between the age of 18 to 35 demographic. Like that's someone that doesn't watch wrestling as much for that.
But I just think Bret Hart is more of the legend than Chris Jericho. That's the thing. Maybe like Chris Jericho, when he retires 10 years later, people will consider him better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's what, 49 right now, still putting his body on the line for...
No, he's not 49. He's got to be like 43 or something. He can't be 50, bro.
He's been wrestling for a while. Let me go.
He has been, but I don't think he's 49. I think that Bret is barely better, but I think that Jericho, if we're looking strictly at talent, I think he's better. He's more talented. But I think, from a legendary list standpoint, I think Bret Hart has to be a little bit higher. That's just my personal opinion.
We're in the middle. He's 46. So he's
46. Wow.
46. Yeah.
I thought he was like 43.
No, 46, my man. Hold on. He's got 3 children. Holy shit. All right.
He does? He's not married, though.
No, he's not married, but he's got 3 children.
Damn.
Shit. I still think he's just overall better. That's my opinion.
All right. And I think something that hurts Jericho in my mind is he was never the top guy. Bret kind of was, even though that era sucked ass,
Yeah. 2002 was a wicked year for Jericho. You're on the main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah. Nobody would say he was above The Rock or Triple H.
No. That's fucking Triple H in a 2014 promo roasted him and RVD for never being the top stars. You need to check that.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm going to get my charger real quick so you can move on to the next segment.
All right. Oh, bro, you want to miss this segment?
What's the segment?
Charlie Caruso.
Oh, I got to say for at least this one.
Okay, so Roman Reigns has an interview, and I don't know what he says because Charlie Caruso is there. But yeah, so Charlie Caruso, we're going to have a promo. We're going to have a match at WrestleMania, going to be filmed. It's going to be a part of our, recap our journey of WrestleMania. We're going to have a separate video, like documenting what happened at WrestleMania kind of thing. We're, of course, going to be doing reviews after the events, but we're going to have like this separate video of like kind of what happened after we watched it, just a quick reaction sort of thing. That was the plan last year, but we're going to put it into effect this year and kind of have a separate video. And in that video, we'll have our match for Charlie Caruso, myself versus Dylan. I think Mike is going to be the special guest referee. We'll see what happens in that. But yeah,
a tag team apocalypto style video. No,
yes,
but like
very close,
very close, very close.
Yes, very close. We want to plug that match as much as possible so people get interested. So Roman Reigns has an interview for real. And he basically says, with all due respect to the dead man, I only picture him on his back at WrestleMania. Continuing the seeds being planted that Roman is more of a heel in this match than he is a face. Because he's not a good guy. He's not a bad guy. He is the guy. And he says that he's going to prove to Braun Strowman that this is my yard. Continuing with the dead man theme.
So is this going to be a buried alive match or?
Bro, that would be awesome. I wish.
I know, that's what I'm saying, bro. They've been giving this yard thing for like weeks. Bro, it's set in stone right there. It's there for the taking. Just putting that out there.
All right, you can go ahead and get your charger.
All right.
So we're going to talk about the Goldberg video package. Basically, Goldberg build up through WCW from September 22nd, 97. And it's like a teaser for their Lesnar-Goldberg match. And then I like how they kind of ended it on the Lesnar. Will he answer the question? What's going to happen? I kind of liked how they split the video package for Goldberg and Lesnar. Am I a fan of not having either of them or Paul Heyman on the show? Absolutely not. And I think that really hurt the match, or really hurt the show, I mean, overall, because without Goldberg or Lesnar, as we said last week, those guys were two of the best parts of the show. So without them, it really hurts. But at least they kind of split up Goldberg and Lesnar in this Raw. So we had that. And then we had Sheamus and Cesaro backstage. And basically, Stephanie says that you have to earn it all over again to get in this tag team championship match. It's going to be a 2-on-4 handicap match. You guys versus the Club and Enzo and Cass. And basically what she is doing here is she's punishing Mick Foley's disciples.
I will not say a single word about this segment until we get to the match.
Oh, bro, the match is an absolutely disgrace of everybody that watched it.
Oh, is it next or is it later on in the show?
Okay. Let's see. We have a couple questions or a couple things here. DX Forever says Roman's new catchphrase is "with all due respect." Could be. So you got something there. Kevin says I can't stand the whole Roman versus Taker thing. Honestly, we'll get into it at the end. We'll get into it at the end. Arian says, I have a question, Mitch. How bad were they booing Reigns at WrestleMania? WrestleMania 32 was the worst I've ever heard a wrestler get received ever.
Yep.
Ever. I could not watch the match. I had to plug my ears. There was one.
By the way, it was 28 minutes.
Yeah.
So even more agonizing to hear all these boos coming from 100,000 people.
I have no idea how the match was, if it was good, if it was bad. I have no idea because people were constantly chanting like boo. No, like Roman sucks, just boo.
By the way, I have not watched a single match from that show since it happened.
I think I might watch it before we go to WrestleMania 33 just for fun.
I might watch like the Shane Taker match.
Also, guys, I actually want to ask you this because I had the idea random on a Saturday night. Would you guys like us, to do a pay-per-view review just live stream it and just us talk about it while we're watching it? Would you guys be up for that? I don't know if you guys would, or you just prefer the normal reviews of pay-per-views, or if you would like us to just sit down with the popcorn, watch the show, and talk about it while we're watching it. And you guys can watch it at the same time in the live chat. That would maybe be interesting. If you guys are interested in that, let us know.
We've done this before. If you check out our December to Dismember review back in the day. But I wanted to do something like this at Florida, but we got tens of thousands of videos to make there, so I don't know if we're gonna fit that in. But yeah, I thought about it.
And you know, if you have a pay-per-view you'd like us to watch as well, definitely put it in the chat.
Just no Survivor Series 1997. I'm telling you right now, that's not a show I'm watching. I don't want to watch the fucking Screwjob.
Only if Kev is there.
Only if Kev was there.
Okay.
Yes, most definitely. I need to get him on there.
Okay, so we have Bayley versus Nia Jax. I am not most girls. The greatest of all time. Entrance. I'm not like most girls.
It is
Dylan.
the worst song.
Is this the best song ever?
Yes, it is. If you want to die. This is used for torture in many countries. God, I hate this theme. But I hate this match too. I really do. With a passion.
So, do you want to describe this? I really don't.
Okay, I'll describe it.
Okay, go ahead.
So, remember Ray's world title win in 06? Ray Mysterio? Remember when he won the world title? Remember how absolutely shit-canned he got after winning the belt? Like, he got destroyed every week until he lost the world title. This is what the women's title has gotten for Bayley. Ever since she's won the women's title, what match has she had in order to be a successful champion? 0 is the answer to that question. Constantly getting interfered with Sasha in the build to their matches. And then 3 of the last weeks, we've had Nia Jax beat her, Nia Jax winning by disqualification, and Nia Jax beating her. Your women's champion 2 weeks before Mania loses to somebody that's going to be in the title match. Like, are you fucking kidding me? What is the point? And remember last year when we had a triple threat that people were actually looking forward to with the women? You know, Becky Lynch, Charlotte, Sasha Banks, 3 of the 4 horsewomen, really good. Now we have a fatal 4-way that no one cares about. That's ass backwards from what it should be. So congratulations, WWE. You have made Cole. WWE. Congratulations on making your product for the women even worse than I was expecting it to. And yes, I know we complained last week that Nia Jax should be in this match because it makes storyline sense. However, she's not very good, and I'm not looking forward to be in the ring whatsoever.
Okay, so how many weeks away are we from WrestleMania?
Less than 2.
How are we possibly going to build a fatal 4-way match with 1 week? Especially with WWE Raw 2017. We don't have, Ed Ferrara and Vince Russo writing this in 1999.
Nope.
This is 2017 Vince McMahon, almost 80 years old, writing this show.
Well, I'm Vince McMahon, damn it. I want fatal 4-ways on my WrestleMania, damn it.
I understand what we're trying to do. I understand that Nia is a big, they want to kind of push her a little bit. They want to kind of give her a little bit of a spotlight. She is attached to The Rock, so they need to give her something. But
this is not the showcase.
This is not the showcase. This is not the time, and you haven't built it up correctly. You have a little bit of a story with Charlotte, Sasha, and Bayley. It's there. You run with it. This is the difference between SmackDown and Raw. Raw is trying to matches that don't work together and just push them and pound them until damn it, you're going to watch this, damn it. And on SmackDown, they didn't do, they did Shane and AJ because that's the story that's there. They're doing Cena and Miz and Nikki and Maurice because that's the story. They're doing Bray and Orton because that's the story. On Raw, it's shove Reigns and Taker. It makes no sense, but let's do it. What's the story for Nia Jaxx being in this match? Absolutely nothing, but let's do it. Random matches that make no sense.
It's like somebody on a sugar high and they just watched all their favorite wrestlers and they're like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go. Yeah, you got Nia Jax. Woo! Main event. It's actually like
and again, like even I'm not a guy that sits there and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe Nia Jax is in the match because the match is going to be so much worse. Like I'm sitting there and I'm being like, the story doesn't make sense. And then I'm thinking, okay, and you add Nia Jax to the match. And the match is just like, what is the point of putting her in the match? There's no story. And second of all, she's going to make the match worse in quality. So nobody's going to want to sit there and watch this match anyways. It just doesn't make sense to me. And the level that the women were at last WrestleMania has gone so far down. It's crazy.
Bro, that women's title match was a banger last year. I know people want to say that. It was probably one of the better matches last year. And now we have this match. The quote-unquote, if the Cruiserweights the tag team title, well, actually, I like the Cruiserweights, but let's assume everybody else doesn't. The Cruiserweights the tag team titles don't get it on the main show. This will be the piss break of Mania.
By the way, the piss break of the Hall of Fame is Jim Cornette.
We might have to make a separate video on that. We fucking hate Cornette.
Bro, he's an idiot.
Mitch, we must save anger for either the Hall of Fame review or a separate video.
The Hall of Fame review, I'm going to be sitting getting my food while Cornette is talking.
Okay, so Julian brought this up. Are any of Jericho's books bestsellers?
I have a comment on that, Dylan. Just real quick, and you can say your piece after. Did Jericho ever have a screw job?
No.
Okay.
By the way, was this not a #1 seller? Not this one. It's a great book. I love reading it. It's his first book, A Lion's Tale Around the World in Spandex. And yes, surprisingly enough, I do have Bret Hart's book. It was mad, shocking because I fucking hate the dude. Massive.
You Mark.
Mark. This is 550 pages of book. I don't like reading. I read at a second grade level. Obviously, that's not true, but I mean, this thing. I'm joking. This book, I think, has like 7 chapters dedicated to the screw job. Actually, you know what? It's probably the whole book. Besides his beginnings. No, it probably wasn't a bestseller, but damn it, it was better.
Damn it, it was better. All right. Triple H's interview with Michael Cole. Man, I am so exhausted from doing this review.
We still have an hour of Raw to talk about.
Okay, so Triple H says he is having a nice day. He's disappointed in Seth Rollins for not being able to wrestle him at WrestleMania. There's CM Punk chants in the background. CM Punk, CM Punk, greatest of all time. CM Punk,
and
CM Punk.
Again, Triple H did the right thing by ignoring it and just talking louder. Good job.
He did a great job.
Page chants. Surprise.
He did a great job because what he did was actually he directed the crowd's chant on the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Because what he did was he was like, somewhere along the way, Seth Rollins started listening to you guys. They started listening to the crowd instead of me. So he started getting up and he started pointing at the crowd and telling them what to cheer for. So that flipped the cheer on them. And they no longer started chanting CM Punk because they're a bunch of freaking idiots. They started chanting something else.
Nerds.
So I wish we had the sound effects.
Uh-huh.
And you could just say nerds.
Nerds. Nerds. That's a great button. I'm searching that up right now.
Triple H then says, how many times have you people ruined Foley's life? You're the reason why his ear is like that. You're the reason why his leg is like that, why he has that little gimp in his walk. You're the reason why Mick Foley ruined his life. And then he continues on to talk about how cheering has never worked out for Seth Rollins' career. It's always been on the back of the authority. It's always been because of the blueprint of Triple H. He gave Seth Rollins the blueprint. He made it so easy on him that he wanted to revolt. He wanted to get away from the authority. Then it continues on. Triple H, I really like the way that he worked this because he kind of sat down, talked a little bit. The camera was kind of close up, and then he stood up and got in the crowd's face, and then he sat back down, and then he looked to Michael Cole, and then he stood back up. I like the way that he worked the crowd with even his like physical movements of moving around a lot to make it really like intense. Triple H then says he's done with Seth Rollins. He no longer wants to do anything. He, screw that guy. And then he says that he has free tickets for him up in the nosebleeds. I thought that was kind of funny. So they're kind of putting some comedy into Triple H a little bit. So he wasn't always so serious. Triple H then kind of says, give me those tickets back, Michael Cole. He then says, what if there was a way that Rollins and I could fight at WrestleMania? And he's like, if that's what they want. And the crowd was like dead. Like Triple H literally had to like force the crowd to start chanting for it.
He goes, do you want this match in Mania? I think it a little bit. I said, do you want this match in Mania? Like he has to go crazy for it. So that's pretty. By the way, I did not find a nerd button, but I found second best. Nerd Luke Gallows says nerd for 10 minutes. This is an actual video.
Okay, play it.
Nerds. Nerds.
It's the same clip of him calling nerds for 10 minutes.
We got to get that as a clip. So that's great. And then basically, he's like forcing the crowd to get them into it. And he's like, it's the architect. First the game, and the crowd's like, yeah, cool. Okay. We don't really care. And then he's like, show them who you are, Seth Rollins. Are you Seth freaking Rollins, or are you just a freaking coward? I like that end, that bomb at the end of it. Triple H did a great job here. This was arguably the best segment of the night, right there with Chris Jericho's segment. Triple H again sold the story fantastically. There was a couple good segments on here done by 40-plus-year-olds. But we do have a couple of things here. Arian first asked, why do you hate Brett? And then Kevin says, Trips is great at selling a story. Arian then says, I have a rant to make. How come Attitude Era wrestlers are so damn good and intelligent and creative on the mic? How come the new school wrestlers are so shit on the mic? I understand what you're saying, and I think part of it has to do with where they came from. A lot of guys nowadays come from the indies, and they don't have that great schooling. They were never schooled by those legends from the past that were great on the mic or great in the ring. Triple H was schooled by Killer Kowalski. There's like legends of the business. What was Kevin Owens freaking schooled by? Joe Blow on,
Bro, freaking. You gotta be kidding me, man. Jim Cornette was there, baby. They have a really big beef. So I find that hilarious. Why do I hate
my thing is it starts from the roots, and it starts from the roots of wrestling, and it starts from how these guys being raised as wrestlers. They earn the respect. They learn the craft all the way around. They learn the promo work. And then, you continue on into they're not entitled once they get there. They work from the ground up. And I've heard a lot of stories about how these wrestlers are now entitled. They think that they belong there because they were in the indies for 10 years. They're not entitled once they get to WWE. You have to work your ass off, man. And I just think it starts from the very bottom because it's a different breed, I think, now. Where these wrestlers, they are just not as talented. They just weren't taught the same way.
Well, and even look at it for somebody that's been in the company all their professional time, Enzo. You know how good Enzo is on the mic? And he's never been in the indies. He's always been a WWE guy. He's one of the better guys cutting promos. To shortly answer Arian's question from back in the chat, why do I hate Brett so much? I just don't like him. I think he's been one of the most, the way he acts about everything in wrestling, he thinks it's the worst thing ever, and he just is very entitled, in my opinion. I'll make a video about that later. In this segment, I really enjoyed this segment, actually. Triple H, again, very good on the mic. One of the best promo cutters in the business, and it's sad to say that 3 of the better promo cutters in the business are at least over the age of 40. Chris Jericho, Triple H, Paul Heyman. With this segment, you got the message across. Triple H he just wants to beat Seth Rollins up. And he thought he was going to be done with him. But at the end, he's like, you know what? I want this match at Mania. So we're having a a match. It's an unsanctioned match, which you remember, Shawn Michaels, SummerSlam 2002. It was a great match. So I hope it has something like that to that degree, and I would really enjoy that kind of match. I'm still interested to see it. I know Mitch is not very happy because he doesn't like Seth Rollins, but overall, I thought this has been one of the better feuds that's been built up, especially on Raw, at least.
I would way rather see The Rock come back in defense of Mick Foley to face Triple H.
Come on. I mean, that's like cutting a guy's leg off. You have to at least give him a chance.
No, I think the match will be good.
Nobody can be there. Yeah, the match will be really good. It'll be fun. And if it's an unsanctioned match, God willing, there will be blood. I know this is the PG company, but they're on their freaking network.
It should be a blood match, and it should be, some sort of stipulation match. It can't be just a normal match. Well, it wouldn't make sense.
Well, it's an unsanctioned match, so that automatically means like no DQ.
Okay. Well, I have a huge question, and this is like absolutely crucial, Dylan. Will Seth Rollins be wearing jeans like Shawn Michaels?
Maybe. Should. Makes it look cooler.
Okay. Did you catch this? Did you catch this commercial?
Was it the Sheamus Ric Flair commercial?
Yes.
So fucking weird. They do these Snicker commercials all the time, but it is hilarious.
It's actually really funny. I actually found it funny because, the Ric Flair part was funny too. It's like, oh, Rick, what's going on?
I'm so glad this segment aired at 9:15 my time instead of 7:15, because if my mom had caught what was going on the television screen, it would have been fucking weird. But it was pretty funny.
Okay, can you go over the Sheamus and Cesaro versus Big E, versus Big Cass, Enzo and the club match? Because I don't want to. I'll just talk about it at the end.
This segment legit pissed me off on so many fucking levels. So it's a 4-on-2 handicap match. Enzo and Cass, the club, versus Sheamus and Cesaro. The stipulation being, if Sheamus and Cesaro lose this match, they are not allowed to be at WrestleMania. They're not going to wrestle for the tag team titles. The club decides it's a great idea to attack Enzo and Cass, who are on the same team. What the fuck? Does that make any sense? I think Byron pointed this out. It makes
sense, but it was just so stupid.
No, when did this make sense? Because somebody in commentary, I believe it was Byron, which maybe, holy shit, maybe he said the first intelligent thing. No, actually, you know what? It probably was Corey Graves. Either one. They said, if you were in this kind of match and you can eliminate two of your opponents at Mania, why wouldn't you do it? Why wouldn't you want this to be a one-on-one tag team match or two people against two people? Well, it doesn't make any sense. So they attack Enzo and Cass. They have this match where they're like, we got a little bit of a momentum. This match was 60 seconds long. So Enzo and Cass disrupt Gallows and Anderson. Sheamus and Cesaro get the victory over the tag team champions. That's the second champion tonight that lost in incredibly stupid fashion. And the match is still the exact same that it was last week. So the build got digressed for a week. So we put it on pause to have this match that meant absolutely nothing. What the fuck was this? That was one of the worst segments I've seen in a while. And that's saying something because of this company. But that was retarded.
You know my beef? My beef is that this segment took them 4 seconds to write.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Sheamus, Cesaro versus Big E and Enzo and the club. Okay, so they're going to wrestle. And then we're just going to have Big Cass and Enzo get knocked out for a bit. And then they're going to totally screw over their teammates. And that's going to be the end of it. Sheamus is going to hit him with the brogue, whatever. That literally takes like a minute long. Like you're sitting there at the table. And where did the effort go?
The effort.
Like, we're going to get into this in the main event too, because especially in the main event is that sad. I mean, but Sheamus and Cesaro, it literally accomplished nothing.
No.
All it did was that, okay, Sheamus and Cesaro in the match. Okay, they were before. AKA, waste of
I think I'm having a convulsion over here. Like, I think I'm gonna die.
Okay, can you please do the New Day promo as well?
This is
Bro, I feel sick for doing this.
okay. This was kind of funny. So the New Day show up. Holy shit! If you've heard anything on Twitter the last 3 days, I was shocked to see Xavier, especially, on the show. So they're pimping out WrestleMania. They're doing one of their better promos in quite a bit. They're pumping out, oh, you got Goldberg and Lesnar. You got Bray Wyatt, Orton, all that stuff. And then at the very end, when they're promoting this, they zoom in to Xavier looking at the screen like this. They had to be trolling. They obviously knew what they were trying to accomplish with this. I thought it was kind of funny because they obviously know what happened with the Page stuff, and they're just gonna make a joke of it. It's kind of funny. That's all I gotta say, Mitch.
Is that all, Dylan?
What else did they say? What else?
I'm just saying. I will say that this was their best segment in probably 2 months, because if you think about it, they had the whole Titus O'Neil crap, and that lasted a long time, and then they went into ice cream, which was awful, and then finally they've gotten into these segments where they're building up WrestleMania, and the last couple of ones have been terrible because they've been talking about ice cream, and this one was probably the best one. So I'll give them that. It still wasn't good, but it was probably the best one they have had.
Still wasn't good.
I think that the best part about New Day is actually, like, I've always appreciated this about New Day's promos, is that they have very creative dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're very good at together, like bouncing off of each other. Because you can tell that they're good friends, yeah. And they just have really good, chemistry for the ability to bounce off of each other with different lines and timing. They're really good with the timing, and I think that's what people like about them the most with their promos. But yeah, it was nothing special. Then we go into the Austin Aries versus Tony Nese match. Too much cruiserweights. Man, like, this is what's hurting SmackDown. There's too many women's matches. This is the exact same thing on Raw. Too many cruiserweight matches. It's making people flip the channel. I understand it's Austin Aries. Nobody cares about either of these guys, really, to be honest. Like, we barely have gotten anything from Austin Aries. Sure, I like the guy, but we don't really know much about him. Tony Nese, we don't really know much at all about him other than he has abs.
Guys, he's the premier athlete, bro. What are you talking?
Yeah, premier athlete that does nothing that is premier, like a premier athlete would do.
And
what does he do?
He doesn't win. That's his problem.
Yeah.
I did like the promo.
Okay, you want to get in the promo?
Yeah. So, the promo.
Aries wins.
Yeah.
I will say this. Aries wins with that discus elbow or
they're calling it
5-arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it.
Nice move. It looks like it legitimately would have hurt somebody. I like this promo that happened. So Neville comes out and he's like, I'm still the king of the cruiserweights. I can't do a really good impression of him, but you get what I'm trying to say. He's still saying that he's going to be the champ at Mania, no doubt about it. No question, he's better than Aries. Aries cuts a really good promo. I think one of his better strengths is him as a promo cutter.
That's for sure his strength, to be honest.
He's like, you know what? I've been told many a times that, you are the king of the cruiserweights, but I'm way better. I've got more of the power. And he also brings up his journalism thing. He's like, I didn't call for an interview here, but that was the worst one I've ever had because, I'm going to beat you at Mania, no doubt about it. And I am the superior. I'm the better one. I'm going to prove why I am the king of the cruiserweights, all that kind of stuff. So Aries, I said it in a really poor representation of it, but Aries is really good. Holy shit, as my phone drops. He's really good at cutting promos. That is one of his biggest strengths. And it's something that a lot of these cruiserweights don't have, is the ability to cut promos. So you get somebody like Austin Aries and get you hyped for the match. I think it's going to be quite good, and I like the build-up. So I thought this was actually a pretty good back and forth between the two. That's all, Mitch.
All right. So my only problem with this is like, okay, actually, it's the same problem I have with every segment, so whatever. I mean, Aries is fine. I like Neville a lot. I think they're going to put on a pretty good match at WrestleMania. Looking forward to it. It's probably going to be rather the first match on the show or during the pre-show. But
pre-show. By the way, that's my
cruiserweight things. Like, if I was doing Raw, I would just have the Cruiserweight Championship segment on the show and just skip the rest and have that for 205 Live, because no casual fan cares about it, besides maybe the championship match if you book it correctly. But
pretty much. By the way, I said pre-show, because what I was listening to during this match was Free Smoke by Drake, because he's more. That's my promotion. I love that album. All right, next.
Okay, Aaron's gonna respond to that.
Well, I can't wait for his response.
We get a Emma vignette, and my dad's sitting beside me, and he's like, "Oh, she's pretty hot," and I'm like, "Yeah, she should have been a different character, because she should actually realize that she should be the hot chick, and she shouldn't be the wrestler, because there are 99% of the roster is wrestlers, and only 1% is hot chicks." So,
Mitch, do you remember? She didn't play off the character enough. She couldn't do Emmeline.
Oh my god! What do you have to do? All you have to do is be hot.
All you have to do is be like, "I'm Emmeline." Yeah, tits. Like, it can't be that complicated.
How do you mess up an Instagram slideshow?
It can't be that complicated.
Okay, so then they have the second half of the Lesnar Goldberg video package. And then we have Braun Strowman doing an interview with the great Charlie Caruso.
We just completely skipped over the promo package. I hated this package. I usually commend them for these packages, but Lesnar didn't say anything. What was the point? The first hour, they gave us these video packages like, "Oh, Brock Lesnar's answers are going to be here." And then they get to the part, and Byron Saxton asks 3 different questions, and Brock just gives a different stare every time. He's like,
I know, it's terrible. Can Lesnar not speak?
They must have kicked him in the nuts and taken out his vocal cords. I don't understand why he couldn't talk, or the fact that Heyman didn't talk. I don't know.
Blaze HD says that, do you guys, what do you think about the Goldberg comeback?
I like it. A lot of these fans are, excuse me. Wait, hold on. I gotta pull it up again. Give me a second. Right here.
What is it?
Hold on. These nerds. They don't really like the Goldberg comeback. But in my opinion, I think it's been good. Goldberg has ratings, which is something that a lot of this company can't do. And, it sparks a little bit of interest in the company that's been pretty bland as of late. So you get a name like Goldberg, you're expected to get more people drawn into the show. I think his run has been successful.
Yeah, I think exactly the same thing. He's been good on the mic since coming back. Sure, he's had short matches, but he's selling the shows, and he's the reason why an average person would sign up to watch Fastlane, to watch Kevin Owens versus Goldberg, because no one gives a crap about Kevin Owens. They want to see Goldberg. And I think it also brings back a fan base for WrestleMania. It brings back that old Attitude Era fan base that is looking forward to watch Goldberg coming back. I know a guy that's, probably almost double my age. And he's a huge Goldberg fan. Like, that was his favorite wrestler. And he's tuning back in on Raw and SmackDown. He usually just watches the network because of the old stuff like that. But he's tuning back in to watch Raw, SmackDown, to watch Goldberg. So there's a viewer right there. So it actually works, and you can tell if you look up their ratings when Goldberg's on the show, when he's not on the show. He increases the ratings, he increases the buys, and he increases asses and seats, which is the number one thing. They're running a business, guys. And Goldberg has been good for the business. And I think I've been very entertained by what he's done for the most part. I was super pumped that first squash match, man. I was super pumped about that Lesnar. I started running around in circles. I was super excited. And I think that for the most part, he's been good. I think he's been utilized a little bit poorly in some of the segments on Raw, but who's been utilized well on Raw? The pay-per-views I think he's been on have been fine and realistic for what he's been asked to do. I think people are getting a little bit over their head asking a 50-year-old man to carry a 20-minute match. But that's just me.
Ratings.
Okay. So, yeah, Braun Strowman says bring a shovel. That's all.
It has to be a
then we have
match. What the fuck is this going to be if it's not?
So, WWE Raw once again goes over their 3-hour show limit. 3 hours.
Not just that, they have an extra 5 minutes that they usually put just so they can go over, and then they go over the extra 5 minutes.
They made it 3 hours and 15 freaking minutes, bro, of this crap. And then what do? They have Strowman look like he's easily pushed around by Roman Reigns. Roman looks like he's going to win the match. Taker comes out of nowhere, simple as can be. Stares down Reigns, hits a chokeslam on Braun Strowman. Then Roman spears it.
Which, by the way, did Taker look like he was in pain after the chokeslam? He looked like he was physically impossible to move after he hit the chokeslam. Which, if he can't hit a chokeslam anymore, just let the man fucking retire, honestly. This segment lacked creativity in so many ways.
Okay, that's exactly what I want to bring up. The entire show is too wrestling. It's too wrestling. This is a wrestling segment. Okay, I could have wrote this in 5 seconds. Reigns spears Taker after he chokeslams Braun. Boom. Can we do something a little bit more creative, guys?
And we saw the gong shit last week. I know.
Dylan, how many times have we seen this? How many times have we seen this segment?
50 million.
Can we
every single time for Mania?
Can we not do something different, guys? Come on. Where is the effort? Give me effort.
When does Raw create effort nowadays? I think that's a foreign term for them. It's like fragile. It's just not a thing for them.
Just answering Blaze's question quickly. John Cena is actually on SmackDown. He is back. He's on the show. He's on SmackDown though. He's not on Raw, which is on Tuesday nights. Blaze says Undertaker will win. I think Undertaker will win. I think a lot of people are afraid that Roman will win. He might. I think there is a way to make Roman win that won't piss off fans, which maybe I'll get into in the future. But man, this show has no effort. It lacks creativity, and it's just so wrestling. Where's the TV element? We were talking to freaking Adam, who's a big Attitude Era fan, man. And he tuned in because it was good TV, not because it was good wrestling, but because it was good TV. It's not good TV, bro.
Yeah. Hey, Mitch, how many days are left till Mania? How many days?
I have no idea. Too many.
Okay, how many Raws are there actually till Mania? One. One left, right?
Yeah.
How the fuck has this show accomplished anything? I mean, yes, they've got a couple of feuds like Triple H, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho that they built correctly. But where's the effort in some of these other ones? Undertaker, Roman Reigns. The simple, plain, cookie cutter as
Why do they not like each other, Dylan?
Because apparently Roman eliminated him at the Rumble, and Taker is pissed.
Has Taker even said a word?
He cut one promo.
And you know the other problem with this? You have Undertaker on your show, and you use him for 5 seconds in this cookie cutter bull crap.
Remember what we were thinking about coming into the new year?
Yeah.
Cena, Taker, title. Now we have Taker, Reigns, nothing. That's how it works. I don't.
Blaze says, when are you doing a hockey live stream? Actually, Trent did one earlier today. Toronto versus Boston. I think our next one will be tomorrow, probably. I think we're going to do Sharks Wild tomorrow, I think.
Ew. I don't know anything about hockey.
I can't stand this show. There's no effort. It's not a TV show. It's a freaking indie promotion with better production. It's crap. It's okay. What did we do in 1994 with The Undertaker? Okay, let's put this back on TV in freaking 2017. And fans are going to react. That's going to get us more viewers. Nobody cares. This was cookie cutter fucking bull crap, bro.
Guys, this is for the viewers. You would be pissed to realize how much we spent on this trip to Mania and how much we're going to spend when we get there. Because
WrestleMania is different. WrestleMania is WrestleMania.
It is. But as much as we complain on this show, it's been quite a bit. So
yep. I'm disappointed.
Yeah. This time I didn't get to have the expense of me driving 40 minutes to go to the shows. No, I had to get a 4-hour flight to Florida. So, this show.
Yeah, guys, if you enjoy these reviews, we've been thinking about stopping doing the reviews, bro. So if you wanted to, seriously, I know that I want to introduce this, the donation button. I know I'm asking for money right now, but if you want to support the channel and you want to keep these reviews going, hit that super chat. You can donate a couple bucks to the Bottom Line View to let us know that you want us to continue these lame-ass show reviews, bro.
Lame-ass show reviews. I hate this show. Can we review or can we give it our grade?
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm giving this show. All right. I guess I'll get my own drum roll here. Nerds. I'm giving this a negative 9.8 out of 10. You can't get much lower than this, guys. A show that offends me with no opinion offends me more than a show with anger. And yes, there was anger on the show. There's so many things that I could describe to you that would be just undeniably bad. Okay? You had dumb booking in the women's and tag team division. I still don't understand how either of those situations work out, long-term or short-term. Then you have segments with the best segments on the show were guys that are cutting promos and they're at least in their mid-40s. Congratulations. You played yourself. Other situation, other parts of Raw. Who gives a shit? Honestly. Who in their right mind would give a shit about 95% of the show? This has now been legally announced as torture in 95% of the world. So I'm asking those countries, you must use this episode of Raw. It is a very effective tool in every shape and form. The 3 segments that take this, I'm like, you know what? Negative 9.7. You got the Triple H segment, which is 0.1. You got the Jericho segment, which is another 0.1. And Charlie Caruso also must be a bonus, so 0.1. If she can move over to SmackDown, I would very much appreciate it, because then I would never watch.
She's the best part of the show.
I would never watch it.
I would not watch Raw if Charlie Caruso went to SmackDown.
Go check out, actually, you know what, I'll wait for our shout-outs later, but it's just not entertaining. It's not. Mitch, your score.
Bro, this show one day is going to make me cry, bro. Remember when wrestling was good?
Yeah, I remember. I was a kid. I remember. I remember when I didn't have to go into the show so analytically, and I was like, yay! That was crazy. Whoa, Mania, oh my God. Now I'm like, I'm depressed as fuck.
I have no words. It's just like, I've said it all. I've said it all. And last thing, it's like, I've said it before, I'll say it again. You know when you watch a movie, and the movie is fucking terrible, but at least it's kind of like laughably terrible?
The Room.
This show isn't even like Batman and Robin bad.
That's okay. They're just superheroes.
This show is just bad. It's just boring. It's just dull. It's just not creative. It's just not TV. And at least give me a show that is bad, that is actually has some effort, and actually has some fun. You know, at least give me a bad show that has fun. At least give me the ice jokes with Mr. Freeze. You know?
It's like watching Batman and Robin. You know, that's the fun part. And then watching Battlefield Earth. Raw is Battlefield Earth. If you ever watch that movie, it is the most boring Scientology movie on the fucking planet.
Guys,
it's the worst thing ever.
If you want to remember the good old times, you'll want to tune in to after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
When I do the Attitude Era reviews, so we can relive some good moments. We can relive good writing. We can relive good characters. We can relive great storylines. We can relive The Rock, Stone Cold, Triple H, Kane, Undertaker, so on and so forth.
Caw-caw! Caw-caw! Do I hear a crow? Do I hear something? Maybe Nitro reviews.
Maybe
Possibly.
Nitro reviews coming,
Possibly.
guys. We have a lot of WCW Nitro fans. That may be coming as well. But as for the show, the rating I will give it, I will always give it 1 point for Charlie Caruso.
Ah.
Triple H, you get a point, bro.
You get a point.
Jericho, you get a point.
No.
Sami Zayn, you get a negative point.
Oh, no.
So I will give this show a -8 out of 10.
That is mighty depressing. Take your antidepressants.
Plug it up.
Plug it up, because I like being a plug master. Wednesday, March Madness talk is back. Me and Mitch are going to give predictions for the Sweet 16. We could not get Adam in time for the predictions, but he will be on for the recaps of both Thursday and Friday. I'm going to try to be – we're going to do a Thursday – well, actually, you know what? I'm thinking about it right now. We're going to do a Thursday and a Friday recap because I got a little bit of time here. So we'll be doing recaps for both days of the Sweet 16. You check that out. That's been one of the better things that's been going on here lately. A lot of people getting into that. And the casual viewers of the Bottom Line View are now subscribing because they like that content. I appreciate you guys. I know we've been bitching about it, but we're going to go to Mania. We're still going to pump that out because we spent a good amount of money getting there. And we got a lot of videos to film there. Yeah, the money. We're going to Hall of Fame. We're not going to do a review of that, but we're on that Friday. We're going to do the We the People Roundtable podcast. I'm going to have a layout here. I'm going to probably announce it on Monday Night Raw review next week. I'll have the formula for what's going to go down on the podcast. So you better stay tuned for that. That's going to be a banger. Then TakeOver review, of course, WrestleMania review with 2 reviews, one with us, one with Kevioli Ravioli. So stay tuned for that. And then Monday Night Raw and SmackDown reviews later. We're filming, again, like he said, the day in the life thing, except we're not going to get copyrighted like we did last time. We didn't even get to upload that publicly. So this time we're going to do a lot better. We're going to have the Charlie Caruso match. That's going to be a banger. And you know what? Stay tuned, guys. We're very pessimistic on the show, but we're pretty optimistic everywhere else on this channel. So if you guys like to see both sides and actually us being happy and joyful in our lives, you can go ahead and subscribe to the Bottom Line View because we're more positive than we are negative. Just it doesn't show on these reviews at all. So there's my plugs.
As for me, more NFL coming, more March Madness, more NHL. It's all coming here on the Bottom Line View. NBA recaps, make sure you check out those. Tomorrow, SmackDown, we'll have a live review of that. I'm not sure if Dylan's going to be on there.
No. I would if I could.
Kev, I'm not sure. It might just be me again. But I think Dylan pretty much covered it all. I mean, just the regular stuff that you can expect, daily uploads here on the channel, sports, wrestling, WrestleMania edits getting done, and it's going to be here soon. Check out all our WrestleMania stuff. Check out Dylan's announcement video so you know what we're doing at WrestleMania. Dylan, post that link again. And again, just one more time, if you want to donate to the channel, you like what we're doing, hit that super chat button with the money sign, and you guys can pay any way, credit card, debit card, whatever you want if you want to support the channel. Subscribe to the channel. If you're new, like the video. And maybe I actually had an idea here, Dylan. Maybe we'll do a Q&A at WrestleMania.
Ooh, that could be something we could do
So
in the podcast.
if you guys have questions for us, you can really leave a question on any video. Maybe leave a question here. You can potentially leave a question at our Twitter. If you follow us, we'll most likely follow you back, or just tweet at us at Mitch Milani and at WrestlingGod27 on Twitter. So, tweet us on Twitter your question, and maybe we'll do a Q&A from you guys as well, and we'll do it a live stream. So if you don't want to ask your question now, you can ask your question on the live stream. We'll see what happens. But anyways, guys, thanks for joining us. It's Mitch. It's Dylan of The Bottom Line View. Peace out.